Hello, it's Liz here with Stampin' on the Rock. Hope you're doing well right now. Easter just happened, so I hope you had a great Easter. And so I'm going to get started here. Last month, I went to a Stampin' Up! Conference, and one of the fun things about being there, educational things about being there, is learning some new ideas. So one of the ideas that I learned was a card with it's called Slide and Glide. So I'm going to share that with you today. What I'm going to be using, I love these arches. If you have not seen these yet, these are an online exclusive so that you can go onto stampinontherock.com and find these. They're called Everyday Arches Dies. Look at all the sizes. There's so many sizes. I don't even know how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 different size dies of these arches here. So I'm going to be using those. I will be using a stamp set. Do I even have the stamp set here? Oh, here we go. This is a brand new stamp set that will be coming out May 6th of 2025. May 6th, 2025, I'll be using this stamp set. It's called Pretty Florals. So that will be coming out soon. The ink colors that I'll be using, one is Current, and this is the Summer Splash. This is a new color that's coming out May 6th, 2025, and it is called Timid Tiger. So Summer Splash and Timid Tiger. And then we'll get started, okay? So I have a white card base. This is a regular 8.5 by 11 cut in half. I haven't scored anything yet. We'll get there in a minute. And then I have two different size arches. So I have two of this size arch. And to know exactly which one that is, give me 1 second. And I can tell you. All right, we did this one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the fourth one from the biggest. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the fourth one there. Okay, so I have two of those. And then I have three. Oh, I actually have four, but let's see. I have three. We're going to use three. We have three of a smaller size. And this smaller size is... they're all falling apart here a little bit. The smaller size is this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the smallest. Okay. So 2 of one size, 3 of the smaller size here. Okay. And then I'm also going to use a blending brush. All right. I have texture. Let's see what this one's called. This pattern paper is called Botanical Textures. It's all black and white pack of paper. So I have these two pieces here that are, I can give you a measurement here. These are 5, 5 1/4 by just a little bit less than 2. 5 1/4 by a little bit less than 2. So 1 and let's say 1 7/8. Okay, 5 1/4 by 1 7/8, but they might need to be trimmed down. We'll get to that in a second. All right, so this is what I have at the moment, and I want to do a barn door fold. If you haven't done that before, hang with me. Normally we score at 4 1/4, and then that's the front of it. I want to do it a little bit differently, so I'm going to be scoring at 2 1/8. So let's put this in here, and I'm going to do 2 1/8. On this side, and then I'm going to turn it around and do 2 1/8 on this side. Okay, so that's what we have at this point. Bone folder. Okay, so we're going to take the bone folder, we're going to fold this in, and we want to get nice creases. Nice creases. Let's fold that in. There we go. Okay, so I've done cards like this before that open this way. And then these pieces of designer series paper will go on top. And that's a really cool card too, to just do that. But we're going to do a little bit differently this time. All right, so I need a little bit of space in the center right here. So I love the way the demonstrator at conventions shared this with us. She said for that little space right there, you want to go in here, and here's this really, really special measurement. You want to cut off a smidge, just a smidge. Isn't that funny? Just a smidge. So It's probably about maybe like 1/8 of an inch is what you're cutting off if you really need an exact measurement. So that's just the scoring blade. So, all right, so I just did this much. So you can see what a smidge is, all right? And I'm going to do this side. We're going to do the same thing. I just went to the very first line. If this is the trimmer that you're using, I went to the very first line, and that's where I cut off. Okay. It reminds me of those old recipes that are like a pinch of this and a dash of that. That's how this is. You're just cutting off a smidge. Okay. So we're going to get that out of the way. And now when you close this up, you have an opening in here. Okay. And that one might even be a little bit bigger than we need. So we probably could do even a little bit less than that, a smaller smidge. But this will be fine. This works well. All right. So we're going to take these pieces here. And they fit right in there. Maybe I'm going to trim those down just a tad. I'm going to trim these just a tad. These will, I said I did these 1 7/8. It really depends on how much you're trimming off here, that you might need to just cut off just a tiny little bit on these to fit in your panels. I'm going to trim off just a tiny little bit. There we go. Now we'll set this aside. Let me see. Hang on one second. I need to grab an adhesive. All right. Of course, I think I probably grabbed an adhesive that is a little bit low here. But, we can make it work. Yep, this is good. Okay, so we're putting glue. Not a ton of glue. A small little, that's it. Okay. And let's go ahead and we'll attach this onto here. And this technique is called slide and glide, and you'll see that in the title of it anyway. We did this in club last night, and there was a lot of steps, and the ladies did great. We went through it step by step, and I assured them that if they are not quite getting all the measurements or don't remember exactly what we did, that I would make this into a video so that they could see it for later. So if there's a card idea that you've seen somewhere you like, let me know, and I can try and make that into a video so that you can keep that for next time for reference. All right, so there we go. This is what we have at this point. There's just a little bit of a gap, an opening in there. So that's the base of the card. I'm going to set that aside for a minute. And when these are the two larger ones, okay, two larger ones, you need just one of them for the moment. So let's open up these ink pads. Again, this is Timid Tiger. That's a new color in May of 2025. This one is Summer Splash. That's a current color right now. I'm going to take the Summer Splash, and I'm just going to stamp right down here these leaves. And then I'm going to, with that, while we're doing that, I'm going to use the Summer Splash, and I'm using the blending brush. Okay, I'm going to get off a little bit, and I'm just putting this right here, and I'm brushing in. Just brushing in to get the edges. If you don't think you have enough, get a little bit more there. Brushing in all the way around. Okay, that just gives a little bit of that little summer splash around your edges, nice little soft border. Okay, we're going to close that up, and we'll use Timid Tiger now. Now, this stamp set here has, let me show you let's see. This has a background. These are backgrounds here, and then these detailed stamps go on top of that. Here's a background, that detailed stamp goes on top. There's a background, that detailed stamp goes on top. So we're going to be using this one here. There's the background, and then there's a detail stamp there. So I'm using one color. You can use two colors for this, but I'm going to use one. So we're going to use the Timid Tiger, and I'm using the background stamp, and I'm going to ink it, stamp it on my scratch paper, and then stamp here. And I'm going to ink it, stamp it on my scratch paper, and stamp here. I'm going to ink it, stamp it on my scratch paper, and stamp here. Okay. And then I'm going to take this detail stamp, I'm going to ink it and stamp directly on top of what I just did. I'm going to ink it and stamp directly on top. Ink it, stamp directly on top. You'll notice I'm going to bring this up super close. It doesn't necessarily land exactly on it. It's okay. It's not exactly over top of my background. It's off a little bit to the side here, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to leave that right there. And I'm actually going to use, let's see, I'm going to use, what color am I using? Hang on one second. Okay. I'm going to use, this is also a new color that will be coming out in May of 2025. It's called Secret C. It almost looks black, but if you put this next to black cardstock, you will see it's not the same color, but it's almost pretty close to that, somewhere between navy and black. So I'm going to be using Secret C for the words. The stamp set that I'm using is from a paper pumpkin kit. So if that's new to you, comment below, let me know. I can share that with you. But this is, you can get a kit that has all the supplies, everything needed for you all in one box. But this stamp set is from the paper pumpkin kit. But this is, I just want to show you something that you can do with any photopolymer stamp. That's like a long stamp. So let me show you this. Since we have an arch here, it's kind of nice to have words that go around, and there are stamp sets that have rounded words to it that are like angled words. This one is not, but we can make it that way. So I'm going to use the Lots of Love stamp here. All right, so you can see it's just a straight stamp like that, but I want it to be angled around here. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to bend it. So this is a nice thing that you can do with photopolymer stamps. I'm going to bend it and stick it onto that block. All right. And if it's not bent enough, you can like make it just a little bit bent. You can make it more bent, whatever works for what you're trying to do. But it is nice because it's photopolymer, you can manipulate it a little bit. All right, let's try that one. Yep, I like that. Okay. So instead of being straight, bending that a little bit, I'm going to ink that up with the Secret, what did I say it's called? It's a new color, Secret C. Secret C. I'm still learning this also. So I'm going to stamp straight down, straight back up, and look at that. All right. And I can clean that up then too, but let me just show you. I will normally clean that, but I just want to show this to you. And then you can just take this right off of here, and it goes right back to being straight again. Okay? I'll get that cleaned up in a minute. All right, so this is the front of my design here. Lots of love. I'm going to, just for stability purposes, I'm just using the second one here. This that's the same size, and I'm just going to adhere that right on top of it to make it thicker. You also could use thick Whisper White cardstock. That's up to you. But if you were using the regular cardstock, it's a little bit on the thinner side. Oh, I'm going to come to the end of my liquid. It's fine. We're going to get a little more out of it. There we go. Just going to store that up for a second. Okay. So we're going to take this, the liquid glue. You can slide it around a little bit, which helps get that lined up right on top of each other. And with the liquid glue, you have a little wiggle room to slide it around till you get it where you want it. Okay, so that's it, so that it has to have a double thickness. All right, now I'm going to take these three smaller ones, and I'm taking two of them, and I'm going to fold in half. Line up the sides and use a bone folder so you get a good crease. I'm going to take this one, line them up, use a bone folder to get a good crease. Okay, so that's it there. Then I want to take these. There is a right or a wrong side, so if you want to take that right side, you can kind of see it. I don't know if you can see it on here, but you would see it when you're working with it. But you're going to take the right side then and put that down on your paper. And I'm going to take, again, I'm getting to the end of this glue bottle, but I think I have enough here. I'm going to put this here, putting glue all over that, and then I'm going to lay the first one down. So that it lines up on this side. And then I'm going to take this other one and slide that in so that it lines up on that side. We're just going to hold it for a minute and let that get nice and adhered, I guess. All right. Okay, so we have that flat one there, and then this is what it looks like. Okay, now I'm going to, that solid side there, we're going to lay that back down again. Lay this down. I'm going to put adhesive all along here. Pick that up, and I'm taking this piece here, I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to lay this right down in the middle. All right, there we go. Depends on when you're watching this video. If you're watching this when I'm posting it on April 23rd through the 25th, which is Wednesday through Friday of 2025, there is free shipping on orders of $75 or more. So feel free to go check that out. There is a new rewards program if you haven't heard about that yet. So every order over $20, you can earn 10% credit of a reward for next time you place an order. So there's that, and then this free shipping on orders over $75. And that part, the free shipping, is April 23rd to the 25th of 2025. And I thank you so much for watching these videos, taking the time and watching. If you like it, please hit that thumbs up. Feel free to post a comment, hit that share button. That would be awesome. It just helps me to know what you find helpful and what you're enjoying, and maybe anything you have questions about, I'd be glad to answer. All right, so that's what we have. All right, so this opens this way. And now the slide and glide part, all right? Now you can take this, and we're putting it here. And we're going to put this one over here. Okay, do you see that? And we're going to slide that down, and there you go. There's the slide and glide. All right, how's that? And honestly, if you wanted to take it in and out, you can just pop it off this way. And it pops right into there. And there you go. So give that a try. That's called slide and glide. I hope you like that. And then you can pull this off of here. You can if you like to, you can go ahead and stamp more of these flowers on the inside to decorate it some more. But we're going to go ahead and put this back on here. And maybe it's easier just for you to do it this way. And then you can slide it and glide it. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great week, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.